Hi, 7th grade. This is Mr. Wazork reading the story of Arachne and Athena quiz. Part 1. Read the following story. Arachne was a beautiful young woman and the most wonderful weaver. People traveled great distances to see her work at her loom. Her skilled fingers wove detailed multicolored tapestries and rugs. Her skill was truly a work of art, and people paid large amounts of money for her creations. Eventually, all the attention went to her head. Arachne started to brag and become boastful of her talents. Athena, the great goddess, has given you an amazing gift, Arachne, the villagers would often say. This comment made Arachne angry. Athena did no such thing. I taught myself to weave. No one can weave as well as I, not even Athena, who invented weaving. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, watched the boastful Arachne from her throne high on Mount Olympus. One day she decided that she'd had enough of Arachne. Athena disguised herself as an old woman and went to visit Arachne. I hear that Athena has given you a great gift, the skill of weaving, said the old woman. I am the best weaver, but Athena has nothing to do with how good I am. Her skill is no match for mine, stated Arachne. You are a talented weaver, Arachne, but you are a foolish girl. You should ask Athena for forgiveness, the old lady said, becoming angry. What? Ask for forgiveness? You are the foolish one. I am telling the truth, and if Athena is offended by my claims, she is more than welcome to pay me a visit. I would be more than willing to show her what real weaving looks like. I know that she could learn a thing or two from me, Arachne said confidently. With that, the old woman, filled with rage, in the blink of an eye, transformed back into the magnificent goddess Athena. All the village people gathered around the powerful goddess and fell to their knees to honor her. All the people except Arachne, for she seemed unimpressed by Athena's presence. You think you are better than I, Arachne? Well, let the competition begin, Athena proclaimed. Droves gathered to watch the weaving contest. Arachne and Athena both began to weave. Their fingers moved fluidly across the colorful threads. Athena wove glorious pictures of gods and goddesses performing kind and heroic deeds. They were the most beautiful images that mere mortals had ever seen. Arachne's weavings were also gorgeous and perfectly constructed. Her cloths were also images of gods, but they portrayed them as angry and foolish. Athena was enraged when she saw how Arachne had depicted the gods. She was even more infuriated when she realized that her own skills were only marginally better than Arachne's. You are too boastful and rude, Arachne. How dare you make fun of the gods? Athena, beside herself, ripped Arachne's weavings to shreds. Then she grabbed a stick and hit the girl repeatedly with it. At that moment, Arachne ran from Athena. Oh no, you won't run from me, Athena shouted. I will make sure that you, your children, and your children's children suffer. She magically altered Arachne. Arachne began to shrink until her body was a small black bead. She sprouted 8 legs and grew black hair. Arachne became the world's first spider. She scurried to the highest place she could find and began weaving a web. Now you will be able to weave all day long, Athena said proudly. But from now on, no one will care about your talents. In fact, delicate woven webs will be destroyed when people see them. Part 2. Answer the following questions below. Question number 1. How does Arachne respond when she hears that people believe Athena taught her how to weave? It insults Arachne and drives her to challenge Athena. It flatters Arachne and causes her to become too prideful. It angers Arachne as she taught herself to weave. A reminder, at any point you can pause the test if you need time to think and continue the test once you're ready to go. Question 2. Which detail from the text best supports the answer to question 1? Athena, the great goddess, has given you an amazing gift, Arachne, the villagers would often say. Eventually, all of the attention went to her head. Arachne started to brag and become boastful of her talents. This comment made Arachne angry. Athena did no such thing. I taught myself to weave. Question 3. Which of the following is an initiating event? Arachne became the world's first spider. She scurried to the highest place so she could find and began weaving a web. Arachne started to brag and became boastful of her talents. Droves gathered to watch the weaving contest. Arachne and Athena both began to weave. Question 4. Which type of conflict is Arachne having in the following lines? You think you're better than I, Arachne? Well, let the competition begin, Athena proclaimed. Is that character versus self, or character versus society? Question 5. What point of view is this story told from? First person, third person limited, third person omniscient. Question 6. In paragraph 1, it says Arachne started to brag and became boastful of her talents. What does boastful mean here? Is it showing pride in one's achievements? Is it lack of pride in one's achievements? Is it quiet about one's talents? Question 7. Give an example of something Arachne does. What does this tell you about her? Here's a sentence starter for your short answer. An example of something Arachne does in the story is fill in the blank. This tells us that fill in the blank. Write your answer here. Question 8. In paragraph 3, how does Arachne feel after the villagers speak to her? Happy, angry, nervous. Question 9. Which of the following is the climax to the story? Droves gathered to watch the weaving contest. Arachne and Athena both began to weave. At that moment, Arachne ran from Athena. Oh no, you won't run from me, Athena shouted. Arachne became the world's first spider. She scurried to the highest place she could find and began weaving a web. Question 10. According to this myth, Athena turned Arachne into a spider because she wanted to reward her. She thought everyone would like her talents as a spider. She wanted Arachne to suffer. Part 3 is short answer. Make sure you type your responses in the space provided. Question 11. Who is the protagonist in the story of Arachne and Athena? Is it Arachne or Athena? Typing your answer below, here's the sentence starter. I know this because, fill in your answer here. Make sure you use complete sentences. Question 12. Who is the antagonist in the story of Arachne and Athena? Arachne or Athena? Again, here is your sentence starter. I know this because, fill in the blank here. Make sure you use complete sentences. Question 13. A possible theme statement for the story of Arachne and Athena is sometimes in life too much pride can lead to one's downfall or even demise. What is one piece of text evidence from the story that would support this theme? At that moment, Arachne ran from Athena. Oh no, you won't run from me, Athena shouted. I will make sure you, your children, and your children's children suffer. I hear that Athena has given you a great gift, the skill of weaving, said the old woman. Athena, the great goddess, has given you an amazing gift, Arachne, the villagers would often say. Question 14. How does this detail you listed above support the theme? Sometimes in life, too much pride can lead to one's downfall or even demise. Again, typing your answer here. Making sure that you use complete sentences. Go back over your answers. Make sure you answered each question. And when you're ready, you can click submit and turn it in.